Welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 188, American Barbarian. My name is Eric.
And I'm Jason.
How's it going?
It is going well.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
How about yourself?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah. It's always good to be okay.
Yeah. It's just been really fucking hot out, and that is bothersome to me.
It is.
Yeah. I do not like going outdoors or even opening the doors to go outdoors.
We kind of lucked out tonight, though.
Yeah, it got really cool out.
Yeah.
We went out for dinner, breakfast, and when we left the restaurant, it had dropped like 20, 30 degrees, it felt like.
Crazy storm came through, and...
Well, the storm came through, I guess.
Yeah,
didn't actually do anything here.
I just saw a tiny bit of lightning, but yeah.
There was like one drop of rain when we got back to my house.
Right. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love this. Love this kind of weather.
Unfortunately, it's going to be like 99 again tomorrow, and the rest of the week. Just in time for the Independence Day.
Oh, yeah.
For the celebration of America.
America.
America!
The red, white, and blue?
The red, white, and blue, home of the brave. Home of barbarians. In the world's worst segue.
Yeah.
Actually, we've had worse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. American Barbarian by, I'm gonna say, Tom Scioli.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I've never heard it pronounced in the auditory version.
Yeah, neither have I. I've talked to him shortly a couple times and never once thought to say, hey, how do you pronounce your name?
Right.
Of course, I never actually thought I'd be reading any of his books for the show, so.
Yeah, he's usually at Space, isn't he?
I think he's been there more times than he hasn't whenever I've gone.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple times where he hasn't been there, but yeah. He's a fixture there.
Right. Yeah.
A regular, one might say.
I've never, ever talked to him.
Yeah?
And I've seen him, sitting there, like, half a dozen times at least.
Right.
So.
I've like I said, I've only just barely talked to him once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever had him do, like, sketches or anything like that? Okay.
Just to tell him that I enjoy his art.
Right.
And, he
seems kind of quiet.
Yeah. Quiet's a good word.
Because I've been near his table, like, looking at the next door neighbor or whatever, and he just seems very, like, very quiet.
Yeah.
Which kind of surprises me, based on the stuff that he does.
Right.
Because it's very, like, loud and bombastic.
Yeah, right. I'm going to say that this is actually the first time I've ever read any of his books.
Me too.
Yeah. Because I know when we first started going to space, he was just another schlub there like everybody else.
Right.
With his book, The Myth of 8 Opus, or Opus 8, or something. It's probably in the back. I can read the full title.
Yeah, he's got his picture there. He's looking dapper.
Unmortals, The Myth of 8 Opus. There we go.
Does he kind of look like Leonard from Big Bang Theory in that photo?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure. Which one's Leonard?
He's the main guy. Like, that's not Sheldon,
Got him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, moving on. So yeah.
And then, he did Godlands, or Godland.
Godland. Is that the one Joe Casey wrote?
That is, indeed, the one that Joe Casey wrote, and that's from Image.
Mm-hmm.
Godland, yeah. And I think I even read that. It's still going.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I avoided that book because of a general dislike for the work of Joe Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen, like maybe seen it on a shelf somewhere, but I've never seen it at our store because Jeremy orders all the Image books, and he hates Joe Casey, so I think he just didn't even order it as like some sort of like bitter protest.
Right. Well, I think we can also say that Jeremy has some dubious taste.
Oh, we all do.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, it's harder for me to judge Jeremy's taste because they're so different from mine. Like, I've never even read, like, half the stuff or most of the stuff that he reads, but...
Right.
But yeah.
Well, you've read Yotsuba.
I read Yotsuba. That's very
That's
good.
like half of what he's read, right?
Yotsuba and Voodoo. Yeah. The two ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, I've never been a huge fan of Joe Casey. I've read a handful of his work, and I've never been super impressed with it.
Right, yeah. I think Wildcats is the only thing I've read.
I've read Wildcats, and I didn't hate it, but, I didn't love it, but it also just may be the source material, too. Right. But he also wrote Uncanny X-Men while Grant Morrison was writing X-Men.
Oh, that's right. That was him. Ian Churchill was drawing it. Right?
Yeah, yep. And it was not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never read those. I forgot about that. I forgot he ever did X-Men.
I've read some other stuff that he's done here and there that just never impressed me, so I just avoided Godland.
So yeah, but how did he hook up with Tom Scioli, you think?
I don't know. These are not questions that should be asked of me.
You know things. I thought maybe you'd heard.
Nope.
Keep your ear to the street.
No. Try not to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dirt on the street.
Oh yeah, it's hot this time of year.
I'm prone to ear infection.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's because of all the street listening you do. Yeah, but Joe Casey, he didn't have anything to do with this book.
No, he did not. This is Tom Scioli solo.
Yeah.
Started out as a webcomic, apparently.
Yeah, that seems odd to me for some reason.
Really? What?
I don't know. Like, when I think of webcomics, like, I don't think of this sort of thing. Like, I think of more like funny stuff or like...
Webcomics can be anything.
I know, right? It's like opening my mind. Like, I usually don't think of like this sort of like long serialized action kind of story as being a webcomic.
Right. I know from my personal experience when I invented webcomics.
Yeah.
I found out very early that serialized webcomics are very hard to do. Just because, I mean, it's not like a regular comic where you can just, wait a month. Like, you need to put out that shit consistently.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's like regular comics, but, like, more intense. Because also, everybody and their brother can put out webcomics. And so the field for, getting noticed is a lot, bigger.
Yeah.
And the competition's a little more fierce, but at the same time, if you're good, it's going to rise to the top like anything.
The cream.
The cream, if you will.
Yeah.
I'd say this is probably the cream. Some of it.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's some of the cream.
Yeah.
Doug TeNapel is another guy who's got a portion of the cream who seems to be doing the similar sort of thing where he's serializing a webcomic and then putting out a published book. Yeah. Axe Cop, of course.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot that was a webcomic.
Yeah. So, there's some stuff out there happening on the webs.
It is.
Yeah. Not just shitty little diary comics.
Yeah. Nobody reads those anyway. It's almost like this internet's gonna last, maybe.
Maybe?
It's,
Huh. Now, if only we can get rid of all the people who comment on the internet.
Yeah. Or do podcasts and post them on there.
Yeah.
Those guys gotta go.
Yeah, they do. So, American Barbarian. So, yeah, my first Tom Scioli book, your first Tom Scioli book. We both seem to have enjoyed it, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't think I was really gonna like it very much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I always get the impression, like, whenever I've seen his work, like, I've seen pages of his art in previews, or like I walked by his table, and I kind of like got the feel that it was like just like a lame like aping of Jack Kirby's style,
right? With
like no real soul to it,
right?
But it is super fun. At least this one. Like, I've never read the other ones, but it's crazy, and super fun. It's funny at times. I never would have thought it was going to be funny.
I gotta agree with you on the first statement, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
That every time I saw his work, he's a good artist.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the same time, I was just like, yeah, it'd be nice maybe if he developed his own style.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but I gotta kind of take back that sentiment after reading this. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's clearly Kirby inspired. I mean, like 1,000%.
Right.
But at the same time, like you get, I mean, as you're reading it, I mean, you know, you can definitely see his style. He's got like a sketchier, looser,
Right.
like cartoonier style, and it's super, super cool.
Oh yeah. You can even like there's a bunch of like I can see a Frank Miller influence in a lot of it too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And there's even like a couple of pages where it's like blatantly Frank Miller.
Like with the dinosaurs in the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The Star Story or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, because it's broken up into smaller, like 8 or 10 page chapters. Is that
Something
right?
like that. Yeah. I didn't know this was a webcomic when I bought the book. I bought it from him directly at the Last Space, and you know, 'cause I pretty much just bought it so that we could review it for the show.
Right.
Because that's pretty much all I buy comics for anymore.
Right.
And yeah, I was just mostly curious, and I've heard decent things about the book beforehand, you know, and so I thought, yeah, what the hell.
That's cool.
I've lost the point of what I was going to say.
Yeah. Oh.
Damn it.
What were you talking about? His like Miller influence and whatnot.
Yeah, no, whatever. Oh no, yeah. What I was gonna say is like, I didn't know it was a webcomic,
Right.
so I didn't. Yeah, I'm not sure how this actually, you know, looked on the internet. You know,
There's a couple pages I'd like to see because like,
Right.
there's a scene where American Barbarian is riding his horse and he's like got his star sword out
right?
and he's just hacking people up, and it's like as you turn the page, it's like it's one giant like 4-page panel or something.
Right, like the trail of the sword is
Right.
seen throughout it all.
Yeah, because when he moves the sword, it leaves like a red, white, and blue blur behind it.
Right,
And yeah, I was like, wow, I'd love to see that all as one panel.
right, and also there's another one where it's kind of almost like, I'm sure like there's other things that have done it before, but like the very first thing I thought was Family Circus.
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't think about that.
But there's like a cutaway of like this massive tank thing, which shows the Barbarian going through every section of the ship, just beating the crap out of everyone.
Right, yeah,
It's like a 2-page spread, but then you turn the page and like it's still continuing on,
Yeah.
and then there's like a full page of panels after that, and
that was
yeah.
an amazing splash page.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you see, like, he drew the Barbarian, like, you know, it's not just, like, the footprints, it's like, he drew him 100 times
Right.
in every, like, motion or whatever as he's hacking people up, and yeah, that's really crazy. And
I want to figure out his name here before we go on, because I don't want to just keep calling him the Barbarian. Merrick.
Merrick, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, do you want to do the honors of the story? Or?
Oh man, I don't think I could.
That's why I was trying to pass it over to you.
It's just a batshit crazy story that takes place in like the post apocalypse.
Yes.
Where America is basically like this weird sci-fi fantasy inspired wasteland with like kingdoms and regions,
giant robots and dinosaurs, and
right, and robot dinosaurs.
yeah, you can't forget that.
And there is a rather large army that is walking across the country and invading and conquering everyone. 2-tank Omen.
And he is so amazing.
He's great.
Like, if it's not awesome enough that he's this giant, like, Egyptian-inspired satanic creature that's conquering the world,
Yeah.
he's also got tanks for feet.
Yep. Well, he's 2-tank Omen.
Yeah. You don't just get that name.
No,
you know.
yeah. And he's got the 666 on his forehead.
Right, yeah. Maybe that's why you liked him so much, too.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's pretty metal.
Similar tattoo to yours.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Yours is on your anus, but
right, yeah.
still.
Yeah. It's a surprise for everybody when they see it.
Yeah.
But it's in that same design, like the circular 666.
Right, Two Tank Omen. Wow, what a great character that is.
Oh, yeah.
I love that guy. And I love when the foreshadowing of him, like, arriving.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
that entire sequence is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like this spread of narrow panels getting wider and wider as he approaches the, Merrick's home country. You know?
Right. Yeah, it's like a page of Merrick talking to his, fellow brethren, and there's like a sliver of a panel with Two Tank approaching at the bottom, and then you turn to the next page, and it just, they're still interacting, but the slivers of panels are growing and growing until Two Tank gets there and he takes over the entire page. And
it's amazing storytelling.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't recall any time I've ever seen anything like that in a comic. But wow, what a great way to, bring it without just beating you over the head with it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's bizarre. It's hard to describe. It's like trying to describe to someone a Gwar concert who's never heard of Gwar.
Right.
Yeah. Because there's just so much, and it's so crazy and fun.
Yeah.
Like it's
definitely fun.
Yeah.
It's like it. I mean, it is definitely very, very influenced by, you can tell with just all the things that, Tom Scioli loved as a kid.
Right.
This is like half Star Wars, half, He-Man, half, Herculoids.
Oh, yeah. Thunder and the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, literally.
Oh, yeah.
Like Ookla and Chewbacca both sort of make a appearance, and that scene was fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, on top of that, you've just got that layer of the fourth world and Kirby and everything,
Right.
Yeah, wow. This is a really good buy.
Bombastic as fuck.
Yeah.
I love, too, how, like, every once in a while just something ridiculous happens, like, America, like, there's, like, dinosaurs and giant robots and people with tank feet and like, everybody's just fighting, and all of a sudden, Merrick, like, hops into a Honda and starts driving. It's such a, like, surreal, like, just wild experience.
Yeah, I did, I had some, not so positive things that stood out to me, but I don't think there were anything that super detracted from the story or from my enjoyment of it, but, a couple things here and there were just sort of like, this is off-putting.
Like just directions the story went in, or?
Not so much, because, from the get-go, it's just, that, it pretty much sets up that anything's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, like, story directions, that doesn't bother me. Because I figured at that point, it was just going to be nuts.
Right.
But, like, just little artistic things, like you mentioned the Honda.
Like is it the, like, painting kind of pages, or?
Some of the painting pages, they just don't seem to fit in.
Yeah. Yeah, there was like a scan of actual hands at one point.
Right.
But then Kirby kind of did stuff like that, and I was wondering if that was not just part of his homage still.
Yeah, you bring that up, but at the same time, I didn't much care for it when Kirby would do that either.
That's true. That's very true.
And again, for any new listeners out there, I've only recently become sort of a Kirby convert.
Right.
I was never a massive fan of his until I would say about 3-4 years ago, even, that I started like really realizing how awesome he was. So I'm slow and dumb, but but no, there's like this one page, I can't seem to find it right now, but he jumps into the Honda, and like immediately it's followed with like this photoshopped picture of a Honda with him drawn in the driver's seat.
Yeah,
it's like, that's weird.
Well, I think that looked like that was one of the like beginning splash pages, like the pseudo covers maybe that he put on the webcomic, because it was like the start of the chapter. So maybe he like did those to like separate it out, but still, it was.
And there's actually a couple panels in there that I think they were like I don't know, maybe they're just there to space out some of the pages so that there could be like a 2-page spread later on or something like that. Which, I understand that, but at the same time, it's weird.
Right.
Because Death by Design did that a few times too.
The Batman one.
Yeah, our last comic that we reviewed.
That's probably one of the hazards of like transferring a webcomic into printed form, is because if you're designing it with the web as your intended format,
right?
Yeah, I could see how that would be. Maybe like that's a stumbling block that he wouldn't have the second time around, because as he's doing it, he's probably like, oh, this is a little clunky here,
right? Yeah, I'm sure it's a learning experience,
right?
Like I said, I heard he's still working on Godland, so maybe he's also working on something else for the web after that too. And then the other thing that it's weird that it bothered me.
No.
Because if you listen to this show, I am a dirty, foul-mouthed asshole, and love to swear. It's pretty much my third favorite hobby.
Right.
And yet, there are characters who swear in this, and it just felt really bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I was like in a juvenile state, but every time, like, especially when a villain would swear, it just cracked me up. Like, I laughed out loud more than once. Because it just felt like this old, like, 60s comic, and all of a sudden somebody was like, I fucking hate this guy! And like, I was like, ha ha! Every time.
Yeah, could be. I mean, yeah, it seems like it was intended in that manner.
Right.
But, I don't know, it just sort of bothered me.
Came off as forced sometimes.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I can't even explain it, because, what the fuck do I care? Why would it bother me? But it did, and I don't know why.
Maybe it's because everything else seems so, like, like taken right from the, 60s or the childhood sort of like fantasies, and, I don't know.
Could have been.
But it did. It cracked me up. It really did every time. Oh man, yeah. What else? Like, it's just impressive to me that, I mean, there's so much detail, and like everything is so huge looking.
Right.
Like, yeah, I can't believe I've never, because I mean I like Jack Kirby quite a bit, and I've never thought to give this guy's books a look, because I totally misread, like, not misread them because I hadn't actually read them, but misjudged them.
Right.
Because I totally expected it to be just like kind of a lame version of Jack Kirby, instead of like, and it's inspired by Jack Kirby.
Right.
And I hate to keep going back, and I know I've said the words Jack Kirby like 1,000 times.
Oh,
because
it's hard not to.
Right. I mean, I'm sure he's sick of that comparison, but it's totally there.
Well, at the same time, if he was totally sick of that comparison,
he might change his style.
Right, yeah.
But I mean,
I hate to put it like that, but,
it is, I mean, like, I would never confuse either one of these artists for each other.
Right.
Like, but I mean, there's clearly a connection. But, but like you said, I mean, he's got a whole barrel full of influences here.
Right.
And they're all awesome. And like, this does kind of remind me, the story kind of reminds me of, like, I think I said this when we read Secret Wars, it kind of reminds me more of, like, the story you would come up with as you're playing with toys.
Oh, yeah.
Than anything else.
Oh, yeah. It is definitely, like, the roots of this thing is definitely in his childhood, and you can tell, and it's, and he's just having fun with it.
Yeah.
And, absolutely nothing wrong with a fun comic.
All right.
In fact, I wish more comics were this fun.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's, I don't know, it just occurred to me that it's weird that we're not really criticizing him for basically displaying his Jack Kirby influence.
Right.
But, like, we did not really do that when we reviewed OMAC.
Right.
Which was definitely also Kirby influenced, and, Giffen was using his Kirby style.
Right.
But,
Well, that's the only style I've ever seen Tom use.
Right.
And,
Yeah, Giffen has changed his up a little bit here and there.
Right.
Yeah, but, Yeah, and actually, I mean, despite my general sort of antipathy for Joe Casey, like, it does kind of make me want to check out Godland a little.
It kind of does, but I feel like...
I can't imagine it would be as fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, because like, you know, the small amount of Joe Casey I have read I don't like,
Right.
and what I've heard from people who have read other stuff by him, whose opinions I trust, they're like, you know, yeah, it's terrible.
Right.
But, and B is like, it seems like, unless he's, you know, totally keeping in mind Tom's style, it seems like it might be reeled in a little bit as far as like how crazy it is.
Right.
I mean, he might still put a dinosaur in or something, but...
Well, I think the problem that I have with Joe Casey, anyway, is that he wants to be big and crazy. He just can't pull it off.
Yeah, okay.
Because what was it? Automatic Kafka, I think that was a book he did with Ashley Wood, I think.
Okay, I never read that one.
And that was, like, yeah, and even his X-Men run, Uncanny X-Men, he was trying his damnedest to keep up with Grant Morrison. You know, and just like, Grant Morrison's doing crazy things, I need to do crazy things, and just not pulling it off.
Right.
So I think that's his major failing, and that's where I kind of disliked his work.
Right.
So yeah, so, you know, who knows, maybe, because Tom Scioli clearly can do big and crazy on his own, maybe he's, sort of helping out Joe Casey.
Yeah.
You know?
It has, I mean, that book has lasted a while, so it's got, obviously has some sort of fan base.
Yeah.
But, I still feel like more tempted to check out the Myth of Vaidopus.
Right,
or, you know, just because it seems like it'd be more like his complete vision. And,
Right.
And I gotta say, after this, I've completely changed
Your take.
my like, opinion on his work.
Right. Your uninformed opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
And the same with me. You
Yeah.
know, like, I bought this, I heard interesting things, but, you know, at the same time, I was not really looking forward to reading it. You know, but
yeah, when you picked it, I was like, well, I'm always a little excited to read something by someone I've never read before, just to,
right.
But he's never a person I would have thought to pick up on my own.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm actually going to go down to the tattoo parlor and get Revenge tattooed on my fingerprints. That's how much I liked it.
With 3 exclamation points.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that also part of the thing, like, especially from when we were first going to space and all he had was the Myth of Vaidopus.
Right.
Like, you know, I've mentioned it before on the show, like, you know, there's that small segment of people at space who, you know, have a book out that is clearly just their version of something that already exists.
Exactly,
And that is pretty much exactly what I thought of this guy.
You know, that's a good like, it's kind of interesting that you brought that up, because I wonder if I had never seen him at space, because I associated the same exact thing.
Right.
Like, I wonder if I had just seen Godland at Mavericks, I'd be like, oh, wow,
Well,
I'm
you
going
would
to check
have
this
seen
out.
it at Mavericks.
Well, no. Maybe someone walks in with a copy in their hand,
yeah,
like they just left the book or something. But, but yeah, like, I wonder if I would have been more apt to give it a shot if I hadn't seen him there, because, yeah, there's a lot of stuff there that is just like, okay, this guy's just ripping off that. Okay.
Right. So, yeah, both of us unfairly misjudged him
Sorry, Tom.
for years.
Sorry about that.
Almost a decade.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
But we have definitely changed our tune. American Barbarian is great.
Yeah, I'll definitely be ordering a copy for to stock on the shelves at Mavericks.
Awesome.
And recommend it to people who like fun comics, which is
not a lot.
You and me.
Yeah. Maybe Joe.
Maybe Joe, yeah. Actually, I was reading it the other day. I went to a coffee shop before work, and I was reading it there, and I was talking to a guy who, he just happened to, well, he didn't just happen to be there. Long story short, he shops at Mavericks, and he was there, and he was like, oh, wow, what are you reading? And I told him, and he said he'd heard of it, but he'd never give it a shot, and he's like, yeah, I wasn't sure if that'd be, you know, something that I should even take a peek at. And I was like halfway through it, and I was like, oh yes, you should totally take a peek at it. So I think I got one potential customer for him out there.
Awesome. Yeah, and maybe if I find some cheap Godland trades, maybe I'll give that a shot.
Yeah. You know, it's funny too because I've been reading the Kirby Genesis book that Dynamite's been doing, and it's like that book is crazy, and it's kind of the same way. Like there's, all kinds of there's like sort of a Bigfoot type character, and there's like time travel, and there's gods, and like, and it's crazy and it's fun, and I like it, but this like reading American Barbarian makes me realize like this is kind of what I was hoping to get out of Kirby Genesis, because it's cool and I like it, but it's nowhere near as fun as American Barbarian.
I think that's a problem with a lot of comics. They just want to be taken so seriously.
They have to explain every little like, well, I gotta make the science right, and like this is just like, fuck it, stick my balls deep, throw my electric sword into the air and time travel as a creature of light, and like grab God's balls and shoot lasers at my enemies. These are all things that happen in this book.
It's awesome. So definitely recommended.
Yeah.
We're sorry, Mr. Scioli, for judging you harshly.
And for possibly mispronouncing your name.
And that too, yeah. Continuously, if it is not pronounced that way.
Yeah.
Alright.
Good book.
Yeah.
At House Comics.
At House Books.
Check it out.
Yep. Alright, want to take a break?
Sure.
Alrighty.
You're
welcome back.
Hello.
What up? Are you playing with knives?
I am playing with knives.
Seems dangerous. You're inspired by the I don't know, unwieldy way that he carries all those swords in American Barbarian.
Right.
There was a scene where he has like 8 swords.
Yeah. I'm also going to carve revenge into my fingernail and my fingertips too.
Well, you've got 8 blades too because you've got a Swiss Army.
That is true.
But yours is a smarter way to carry them around.
The Swiss know what they're doing. Yeah. Unlike us Americans.
Yeah.
Barbarian or not.
Yeah, that's right.
Americans are dumb.
Yeah. It's kind of our thing.
Yep.
So what the hell's up, buddy?
No, nothing.
Nothing.
You?
Not really.
Yeah.
It's been kind of a quiet week.
That's good.
Yeah. Which is awesome sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my first paycheck for my second job.
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. Enjoy that.
Your first, your second official paycheck ever, right?
Yeah, well, they didn't actually give me a tangible paycheck, but yeah, the first time there's any sort of paperwork involved at all.
Right, a trail.
Yeah, right, a paper trail. Because they did give me an envelope at the work that said
as your stub in it,
right?
basically.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'm a real boy. I know how Pinocchio felt.
Nothing really much is going on. I've watched a couple movies.
Anything exciting?
I saw Real Steel a couple days ago.
Is that the Hugh Jackman one?
Yeah, the robot boxing movie.
Like it?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
it was fun.
It looks fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's not amazing by any means, but it was certainly not a bad 2 hours spent.
Right.
Yeah. I like a Hugh Jackman. He does good work. I like robots fighting.
Yeah.
Robots fighting is awesome. Yeah.
Did anyone in any point in the movie say "Rock'em Sock'em"?
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
I'm not going to say it.
Okay. There was a Wolverine reunion of sorts in that movie.
Oh.
Not his nemesis or anything like that, but a guy that he has a beef with throughout the movie played the Blob in the Wolverine movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then they have a fight.
That should have been fun for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I don't know how much we want to talk about it or if at all, but I did finally see Prometheus yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Me as well.
Yeah. Because I know I gave everybody a really hard time about telling me anything about it before I saw it. Because I wanted to go in as blankly as possible to see that movie.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to be a hypocrite by talking about it now. You know.
I think it does help for that movie to not know any of the little, I don't know, plot points.
Right. Well, that was sort of because it seemed like every other day they were releasing brand new footage from Prometheus, and
right.
It was getting to the point where I was getting full blown Avengers on it, where I almost didn't even give a shit, and saw a commercial and I was like, you're fucking ruining this movie. Yeah. But apparently it's nowhere near as bad as Amazing Spider-Man, which has apparently released so much footage that a person went out and edited all the footage together, and it totaled about 25 minutes.
Of linear footage?
Yeah.
Wow. That's awful.
So basically, a fourth of that movie is now out, available for everybody to watch.
Wow. I think you're going to say the whole film, though, so that's good.
Well, apparently, Sony freaked out that this person had done this, and they were, scrambling, trying to get all the footage taken down and all that. And then the next fucking day, they released a new trailer with more footage.
Well, of course. That's probably why they were like, we gotta take that down because we got more footage coming out tomorrow. Shit.
So, yeah, as of now, there's probably 30 minutes of actual footage out there. Yeah.
Yeah. Not excited about that one.
Yeah, me neither. And I love Spider-Man. But, yeah, just... Why reboot it?
Yeah.
Why?
Just make another Spider-Man movie if you need to.
Yeah, who cares about, changing the actor or the director? You just... Yeah.
At this point, society knows who Spider-Man is.
Right.
Not just the nerds.
Yeah, nobody needs the origin again, and absolutely nobody needs to know what happened to Peter's parents.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No one gives a fuck about that.
Yeah, nobody cares.
And it's not like we haven't seen franchise movies before where they replace the actor.
Right.
Yeah. Fucking James Bond has built a 40-year, franchise.
They should do that every time there's a new James Bond movie. They should have him training.
Tell his origin again. Yeah. Just replace the actor. Replace the director. You have a villain in it that hasn't been seen before. So what? Why reboot it?
Right. Yeah.
Makes no sense.
It's silly.
Yep. Hopefully it's good. Yeah, but I'm not that interested in seeing it.
I mean, there's some fun-looking visuals and whatnot. I'm sure it'll be a fun, entertaining movie. But yeah, I don't care if I see it in the next couple years, like whatever. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
I haven't watched any movies. I've read a couple of comics, but nothing, worth reporting on.
I haven't read too many comics in the past week. I've been trying to catch up on Hellblazer. I think I mentioned it on the show. I can't remember, but I'm like 4 years behind on that book.
Right.
So I'm trying to catch up. And plus, I got my I got my shipment of June's comics in this weekend.
Your second pile.
Yeah. That came in, and a mini comic from Becky Cloonan that I ordered back in March came in finally.
Right.
So on the same day, so it was it's Nerd Christmas.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I haven't really. Yeah, I read the first issue of Spider-Man, the Ultimate Spider-Man and regular Spider-Man crossover. It was good, I guess.
Yeah.
First issue.
Is that Bendis too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because both of the comics I read this week, I think, are ones that I'm going to eventually pick for the show, so I don't really want to talk about either one of them. But
understandable.
But other than that, it's been just kind of a chill week. My cousin is leaving. There's something kind of different going on.
Yeah.
He's been living with us for a few months, and he's going back to Florida.
So you no longer have to hear jokes about you being a vegetarian, except for when you come over here.
I do hear a lot of jokes about my diet from him.
Yeah.
What if I start to miss those?
Oh, well, like I said,
come over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Just bring some tofu over, and
I'll make fun of you.
That's cool.
We'll go out for pizza, and I'll secretly make the mad sausage to go to it.
Did you do that in Chicago?
I did do that in Chicago.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny. That was a good one.
You should have seen your face.
Oh, you bastard.
Yeah. Otherwise, I got nothing going on.
No.
So I want to just go ahead and call this a wrap.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's cut out early.
All right then.
We're ditching class in 5th period.
Yes, we are. So I got a movie I'm gonna pick. I think we should go on a field trip, and we should go see Magic Mike.
What is that?
See, I knew this would fail.
Oh, is that like Rock of Ages?
No, it's a total joke. We're not gonna go see Magic Mike.
Okay.
I was hoping that you would have at least known what it was to get the joke, but I knew this was failed from the beginning. Magic Mike is a movie about male strippers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say about
with Matthew McConaughey and.
I knew he was in a stripper movie. I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah,
We're not going to go see
Yeah, we're not going to go see that. No, we're going to see a movie that I have seen before, but I want to watch it again, and I want to see what you think about it.
Oh.
It is called The Signal.
The Signal.
Yes.
Never heard of it.
It's a horror movie, some sci-fi tint to it.
Okay. Did you say sci-fi tit?
Tint.
Oh, okay.
Tint.
I was hoping for some alien breasts.
No. There may be some human breast in it.
Oh,
I can't remember.
I'm in. The prospect of breasts, I'm there.
Yeah. There might not be any in there.
Wow.
Just to warn you.
That's okay.
Okay, alright.
As long as that'll at least get me in the seat.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
I won't veto.
So, yeah, The Signal then.
Sweet.
Alright.
Coolio.
Alright then.
Well, thanks for listening to our abbreviated episode.
Yeah. The first half wasn't abbreviated. Just this part was.
We'll totally check out American Barbarian.
Hell yeah.
What the fuck are we doing not reading that again? Let's go read it right now.
Okay then.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you later. You can subscribe to Gutter Trash at iTunes or directly at guttertrash.net. If you go to iTunes, please leave us a review. You can email us at eric@guttertrash.net or jason@guttertrash.net. For more info, you can find us on Facebook, or you can go to seanborn.net or buyerbeware.guttertrash.net. Listen to our sister podcast, League Night, at league.guttertrash.net. Thank you for listening. Until next time.